Day friends. Somebody was telling me recently that in talking to different people, he was struck by how often people were coming up with this question: but how do I decide at this time with the pandemic, with so much that's uncertain? And decide, it can be different things. It's, do I decide to send my children to school or not? Do I decide that since I've been laid off, I really should actively be out there searching for a new job, or hope that, the job I had will come back soon? Do I get married when, the big party won't be possible, but that's where we're at in our relationship? Do we buy a house? Do we move like we were thinking of moving? And it's, of course, very, very difficult to make major decisions like that, and sometimes even far less critical decisions. It's difficult because, of course, the pandemic has really robbed us of a sense of control. Now, I'm not sure if we ever had control over our life, really not, but we have a sense of control. Judge things by certain parameters, certain criteria. All right, yes, this, go. Well, the pandemic has brought us to a situation where, in essence, we don't really know how it's going to be in a week, a month, a year. We don't. And that vulnerability can fill us with two emotions, two of them, which are really not helpful in decision making. One is to be fearful, to really just be so afraid of everything, and to even nurture and share that fear with others, with those, of our family, of our circle. And the other one is to be so frustrated as to be taken up with blaming, angry. Somebody else should solve this so that my life could get on. That isn't helpful neither. So how does one make a decision? I mean, people will say things, well, you think about it and do what you think is right, or what's best for you, best for those around you, what will be, bring most advantages, or, make a list of pros and cons. And part of that, of course, is true, but it's not eminently helpful to just be told those things. So what could be the criteria, a way of discerning at this time? I think from a relationship point of view, one thing would be to consider, all right, I can think and decide this by myself, or I can also turn to others for advice and, dialogue, discussing together and coming to see clearer together. I once heard the joke that the person who has himself as a lawyer at court has a fool as counselor. and that's true. We need others, and that isn't weakness. We need others to see more broadly. And so turning towards one's spouse for even in a decision about something in one's own life, but it's going to be lived together, or towards siblings in the family, turning towards them, or really good friends, and not searching for a blinding light certitude, So what I'm saying there is not not to go searching for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on the internet, or just trying to amass enough facts and enough opinions. One can drown in that. But I think with some key people that you trust, you know that they want your good and you want their good. And you especially want the good of the relationship, the continuation and life-giving nature of your relationship, to discuss it together. You'll never, ever find the perfect solution. Everything, and perhaps especially now, will be a compromise. You graduated from university, you have a career path, you have clear objectives, and there's just no jobs out there for that, or pursuing your studies or whatever. Well, not as defeat, but as, well, what's one thing you can do? It's not the dream job you wanted, but it's another job, and you're able to, pay for yourself, keep yourself going, and perhaps help others, help in the family, or maybe even just volunteering, but not just sitting there, but going forth and seeing where can I at this point best give myself, share my talents, share what's in me. And so that brings the question of really what are my key values? Because otherwise we may want something and say, oh, I gotta get it. And we haven't stopped to think, is that going to bring more anxiety or an impossible workload or an impossible debt load, when I really stop and think about it, and in a way that would really hurt others, damage others, especially damage relationships, then whoa. So I'm saying it's got to be our core values of how we try to grow as a person so as to bring that which is good, in essence, that which is God's love to others. And that's a parameter too. If you're going towards a decision and the people most important to you are just going, oh, you can't do that. And it's not coming from a place of protecting themselves or their good, but really a genuine desire for what's good for you. We need to listen to those voices. St. Paul says, turn towards those who have wisdom, those in whom we see a peace of heart, a continuing generosity, a strength even in the midst of great difficulties, and to turn towards them for advice and walking through a decision making together. So easy to make decisions in this time? No. Giving in to fear, giving in to anger? No. Reaching out and for the wisdom of others and the help of others? Yes. Taking decisions where the advantage will be that which is really important to us in our relationships and being for others. Again, what's the good? What's the possible damage? But not just to me, to others, to that circle of life and love and relationships of which I'm part of. And God, constantly turning to God in prayer. Not that He'll give us in the middle of a night in a dream a flashing right answer. But he who said, Jesus, I will be with you forever, that he is with us at each moment, at each day. And we discern, we act step by step, one door opening to another door, and always trying to bring the best of what is strength or love or healing to others. We can never go wrong when we make decisions for those reasons. And the Lord will give us that peace of heart where we live, and what we live makes us say, God, you are good and you are powerful. Thank you.